In the days of old, Adam, the first of men, lived a span of 930 years. His life was filled with many blessings, for he was graced with 30 sons and 30 daughters. As the years passed, he saw his lineage flourish, and his offspring spread across the land. However, when Adam reached the age of 930, a great illness befell him. Sensing the end of his days drawing near, he called forth all his children and their children, saying, "Come, let me see you before I depart from this world." Obediently, they all gathered at the door of his dwelling, their hearts heavy with concern and sorrow, save for Cain, who wandered the earth, forever marked by his grievous sin. Among those who came was Seth, the eldest and most cherished son of Adam and Eve. His countenance was serene, yet his heart was troubled as he approached his father and asked, "Father, what ails you?" Adam, wearied by the weight of his affliction, replied, "Great pain and sickness have come upon me as children." Bewildered by his words, questioned him, saying, "What do you mean by pain and sickness? No one has perished on this earth except our brother Abel, whom Cain slew in his wrath." Seth, ever the devoted son, then spoke, "Father, do you yearn for the Garden of Eden and its bounteous fruit? If it is so, command me, and I will journey to the gate of the garden. There I shall cast dust upon my head, weep bitterly, and pray earnestly. Perhaps God will send his angel and grant me permission to bring you some of the fruit from the garden, so that you may eat and be restored to health." Eve, upon hearing these words, wept bitterly and said, "My lord Adam, share half of your suffering with me, for it is my fault that this great evil has come upon you." Adam, with a gentle voice, responded, "I will tell you what must be done. You and our son Seth shall go to the garden as you have spoken. There you shall pray and ask the angel to grant you some of the oil of mercy that flows from the tree of life. Bring it to me so that I may anoint my body and find some relief from this pain." And so Eve and Seth set out on their journey toward the Garden of Eden. As they made their way through the dense woods, a wild beast, fierce and untamed, leaped out and attacked Seth. Eve, filled with terror, cried out, "Alas, what will become of me? Surely all who have done evil will curse my name," saying, "Woe unto Eve, for she did not keep God's commandment." She rebuked the beast, saying, "How dare you, a mere creature, attack the image of God? Do you not remember that God has placed you in subjection to us?" To her astonishment, the beast replied in a human voice, "Why do you weep and complain? Was it not your mouth that ate the forbidden fruit? Do not accuse me, lest I begin to accuse you." Seth, though wounded, mustered his strength and commanded the beast, "Be silent and dare not touch the image of God." The beast, cowed by Seth's authority, answered, "I will obey you, O Seth," and retreated, leaving Seth injured but alive. Undeterred, Eve and Seth continued their journey to the gate of the garden. Upon reaching it, they wept and pleaded earnestly for the oil of mercy to ease Adam's suffering. God, hearing their supplications, sent Michael the archangel, who appeared before them and said, "Seth, man of God, do not weary yourself with prayers for the oil of mercy, for it cannot be granted to you now. When the appointed time is fulfilled, one will come who will anoint your father with the oil, and he shall rise and return to the garden, he and all his descendants. They shall receive new hearts to understand goodness, and God will dwell among them. But for now, return to your father, for his end is near, within 3 days. Convey these words to him, and watch what shall come to pass when he is taken from you." With heavy hearts, Eve and Seth returned to Adam and relayed the message given by Michael the archangel. Upon hearing this, Adam groaned and lamented, "Alas, O Eve, what have you done to bring upon us the dominion of death? Now therefore call together our children and our children's children, and tell them concerning our sin from first to last." So when they were assembled, Eve spoke to them and told them the whole story of how Satan came to the serpent and taunted it for paying homage to Adam and Eve, for as much as they were neither so beautiful nor so wise as itself, and he persuaded the serpent to let him speak through its mouth. And at the hour when the angels go up to the heavens to worship God, the serpent slipped over the wall and found Eve by the tree of knowledge, and of what happened after that, until the time when they were cast out of the garden. And when she ceased speaking, her children departed, who visit the creature which his hands have made. Now therefore go and pray to him until I give up my spirit to him that gave it. For we know not how we shall meet him, whether he will yet be wroth with us, or whether he will turn and have mercy upon us. She went out therefore and fell upon the ground and prayed a long time. We'll visit the creature which his hands have made. Now therefore go and pray to him, until I give up my spirit to him that gave it. For we know not how we shall meet him, whether he will yet be wroth with us, or whether he will turn and have mercy upon us. She went out therefore and fell upon the ground, and prayed a long time. And at last the angel of mankind came to her and said, Rise up, Eve, for Adam, thy husband, is departing out of this life, and is going to meet him that made him. Eve therefore arose and looked up into the sky, and she saw a chariot of light coming, drawn by 4 shining eagles and angels on either side escorting the chariot. And when it came above the place where our father Adam lay, it stayed. And the angels came bearing censers, and they stood about it, and lighted their censers, and the smoke of the incense rose up and hid the firmament. And the angels bowed and worshipped, saying, Holy One, have mercy, for he is thine image, and the work of thy hands. Also Eve beheld 2 great and fearful ones standing in the heavens, and she was afraid and called upon Seth, saying, Rise up, O Seth, and come to me. And behold, that which no eye of man hath looked upon, so he came to her. And she said, Seest thou the 7 heavens open, and thy father Adam lying upon his face, and the holy angels interceding for him? She said moreover, Who are the 2 dark ones that stand praying for thy father? And Seth answered, They are the sun and the moon, who are entreating the Most High from my father Adam. And Eve said, Where then is their light? And why is their aspect black? And he said, They cannot shine in the presence of the light of all things. Therefore is their light departed from them. Now as Seth was speaking to his mother, behold, the angels blew with the trumpets and fell on their faces, and cried with a loud voice, Blessed be the glory of the Lord over all his works, for he hath had compassion upon Adam, the work of his hands. Then came one of the seraphim having 6 wings, and caught up the soul of Adam and bare it to the lake of pure water, which is on the north side of Eden, and washed it before the face of God. And the Most High commanded him to deliver it unto Michael the archangel, that he should bear it into paradise until the day of the visitation of all things. After that, the holy archangel entreated the Most High concerning the body of Adam. And God commanded all the angels to come before him, everyone in his order. And they gathered themselves together, bearing censers and trumpets and vials full of odors. And the Lord of hosts went up, and the great winds before him, and the cherubim flying upon the winds, and the angels of heaven round about him. And they bore up the body of Adam, and carried it into the garden. And all the trees of the garden bowed and swayed and gave forth their odors. And because of the greatness of that sight, and of the sweetness of the odors of paradise, all the sons of Adam and all that were on the earth were cast into a deep sleep, saving Seth only. Now as the body of Adam lay in paradise, God said, O Adam, why didst thou transgress my commandment? For if thou hadst kept it, they that persecute thee would not have rejoiced against thee. Nevertheless I say unto thee that hereafter I will turn their joy into sorrow and thy sorrow into joy. Then the angels brought shrouds of silk and fine linen. And God commanded Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael, and they wrapped up the body of Adam therein, and anointed it with sweet odors. And the Lord said, Bring hither also the body of Abel. For since the day when Cain slew him, the body of Abel had not been buried, because Cain often sought to hide it, but the earth would not receive it. Until the dust that was first taken out of her and made into a body, that is the body of Adam, should be restored to her. So the body of Abel was brought and wrapped in grave clothes like that of Adam, And they were both of them buried in the place from which God took the dust when he formed Adam at the first, and the angels dug the grave and covered it in. And when this was done, God called to the body, saying, Adam, Adam. And the body answered, Here am I, Lord. And the Lord said, I said unto thee, Dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. Behold, now I promise thee, that in the last days I will raise thee up yet again out of the dust, even thee and all thy seed with thee. And God sealed the tomb that no man should touch it until 6 days were fulfilled, and the rib which was taken out of Adam should be given back to him. After these things, Eve awoke from her sleep, her heart heavy with worry, for she knew not what had become of Adam's body. Distressed and seeking solace, she prayed fervently, saying, Lord, as thou didst make me from the flesh of Adam, and as I was with him in the garden, never parted from him even after we were cast out, so now I beseech thee, allow me to be buried with him, and let no man separate us. The days passed slowly, and on the 7th day after Adam's death, Eve continued in her earnest prayer. With every fiber of her being, she implored the Lord, Lord God of all things, receive my spirit. Her plea was heartfelt and filled with the pain of separation from her beloved Adam. When she had finished her prayer, she lifted her eyes to heaven, struck her breast in a gesture of deep sorrow and devotion, and said once more, Lord God of all things, receive my spirit. In that sacred moment, Eve's soul was released from her body, and she gave up her spirit to God. The heavens responded to her pure and devoted heart. Immediately, the angels descended, their presence a sign of divine grace and mercy. They tenderly took her body and carried it to the place where Adam and Abel were laid to rest. The angels' task was gentle and reverent, for they understood the significance of reuniting Eve with Adam, her lifelong companion. There, in the quiet, sacred ground, the angels buried Eve's body alongside Adam and Abel, ensuring that no man would ever part them. This marks the end of our video, a story of devotion, love, and spiritual connection that has touched the hearts of many. I hope you found inspiration and solace in this tale. If you seek further inspiration, knowledge, and a deeper spiritual connection, do not let this opportunity pass you by. Subscribe to our channel now, leave a like, and comment to strengthen our growing community. Your support is invaluable. If you wish to help us continue sharing these poignant religious stories, consider becoming a channel member. Together, we can make a difference and fortify our spiritual journey. Your engagement and support will enable us to bring more stories that touch hearts and souls. God bless you all, and may His grace and peace be with you always.